Hello and welcome along to Mondo Chelloveck Movies. My name is John, and this video is going to be some 4K and Blu-ray films I picked up in the last couple of weeks. First up, in a rare pickup from CEX these days, I got Rude Boy. Now, this was a film I saw way back on a double bill with the Great Rock and Roll Swindle at the Tyneside Cinema. Can you believe it? So when I put it on, I was really surprised to find out that it was 2 hours 12 minutes long. I don't know if this is the director's cut or anything, but it was really strange because I don't remember that being this long when I watched it at the cinema. But then again, why would I think about how long a movie is? What a strange movie this is because it's like kind of like the Clash's version of the Sex Pistols' Great Rock and Roll Swindle. It's more of a normal movie, shall I say, and it's to do with their sort of viewpoints on politics and all that. But it features this guy, this I think he's called Ray Gange, I think he's called, and he's still about. In this film, what I can remember is that he's kind of knocking around with the Clash, and the Clash are kind of in here playing themselves. And you also see a lot of concert footage as well. Now, I do believe, but I could be wrong, this is one of the last films to be released by Tygon in around about 1980. So yeah, just a strange one, and also for £5 with everything in it, I just couldn't leave it sitting on the shelves. When we all went to watch the Great Rock and Roll Swindle, we didn't know this was going to be playing, but we quite enjoyed it. And the thing that we took away from the movie was the fact that the lead player, he used to go around asking everybody for money every time you saw him. So that's Rude Boy. So next up from HMV for 14.99 to complete the set, I got The Inspector Wears Skirts 4. Now, I said before plenty of times we got the first one because we thought that Cynthia Rothrock was a main star in it, and she wasn't. She was only done a guest appearance, and she's not in the other three. But we had such a good time with that first one that I thought when I saw these cheap, especially with the slips, because the slips are absolutely amazing. I'm so glad to pick these all up now, having enjoyed the first one that much. So we'll get started on the sequels now. So that's the Inspector Wears Skirts quadrilogy. Next up for 14.99, I got The Holy Virgin versus the Evil Dead. What a title! This is such a strange film because it stars Donnie Yen. You wouldn't imagine Donnie Yen being in this type of movie, if I'm honest. And it is a Category 3 film. Now it's got the Category 2 version on and the Category 3 one. You can play it separately. Now, the Category 3 version has the extra scenes put in it, and they're not the best quality. It does say at the start of it, they put them in at the best quality that they can do. But unfortunately, the quality dips when it goes to those sort of extra scenes. Now, the thing with Category 3 is usually it's to do with more to do with violence or to do with like nudity, and I think this one might be more along the lines of the nudity. I remember seeing this back in the day and I have got no recollection of it, if I'm honest. But what I will say about these films is that they come from like nowhere, especially the Category 3 ones. When we saw them in the UK, obviously they were copied because there was no way you could get them in the UK. They were kind of really stamped upon to say there was no way you could get these in the country. So when we saw them, the quality was absolute garbage, I've got to say. Not one of them had a good print or anything. You couldn't read the subtitles. It was like a disaster, really. But all of these now coming across these Category 3 ones, it just looks so good and so nice. And it's like a revelation to see them like that. I think this is one that's from the 90s, I believe. I keep going on about how nice these slips are, especially in the way that they look and also the way that they feel. They feel more secure. These are called now, they are called double wall slip cases. So if you ever see that, when you go in to buy one, you will know that you're getting that thicker slip case, which is borderline vinegar syndrome, which I'm all for because the quality and everything just feels absolutely fantastic. And I'm really dying to see this movie. I've got a lot of Category 3 ones from '88, and this is one of the ones when I saw it coming out, I was like, oh, I've got to get that. So that's the Holy Virgin versus the Evil Dead. So next up, I went across to the two for £30 4Ks. And I haven't been very lucky with those recently because the ones I want haven't went into the sale yet. But I picked up two classics that I've been after for such a long time, especially one of them, the slipcover. So first I picked up Once Upon a Time in the West. This has got to be one of the best ever spaghetti westerns you'll ever see. Directed by Sergio Leone, who has directed all the Dollars trilogies. I've had it on DVD, I've had it on Blu Ray, and they all look good. But this one here just takes the biscuit. I knew it would have done because these need to be seen in 4K because the spaghetti westerns, for some reason, they just look so good. And the details all there, and just the actual gorgeousness of the landscape. It's just something that I think all of these should get the chance to get released on 4K. As these video nasties, it's great to see them. It's also great to see these classic spaghetti westerns coming out. And this has got to be one of the best ones. It's quite long, but it's worth it. So that's Once Upon a Time in the West. So next up, I've been after this film for a long time. And when it came out, I was sure it never had a slip. one of those ones, and you think, well, I'll have to go and get a custom one. But I was going to get it, but I was going to get it cheap. And lo and behold, it was in the 2 for £30 sale. It had been there a few times, but it had a slip on. So it's Ghostbusters Afterlife. I honestly have never seen a slip for this or anybody talking about it. And I was just blown away when I saw it. I couldn't believe, when you see that sort of grail item, because this film is such a good film. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Ghostbusters, the early ones. The first one's okay, the second one's pretty good. I do like the ones with the girls in it because I didn't really have any affinity to the Ghostbusters franchise. But when this came out, everybody urged us to see this one. And when I saw it, I thought, this is something else. So I said to Deborah, let's go and watch it. She watched it and she loved it. So we went to go and see the next one, which is the Frozen Empire, I think, the cinema, which doesn't have a slip as well. So there you go. What can you do about it? Or maybe it does. Maybe it'll turn up in a couple of years after it's been released. But what a good movie this is. Solid movie, and it's got an amazing transfer, just like all the other ones I've talked about here. Actually, I've been quite lucky with the transfers on these because sometimes you'll get them, you really want to see something great, and it comes up something you think, oh, the transfer is not that good. But I knew this was going to be good because I saw this on Sky Movies in UHD, and it was absolutely amazing. And it's likewise it is on the 4K. So that's Ghostbusters Afterlife. The next one I was on the fence with whether I should not pick it up because I've already got it on Blu-ray. The Blu-ray looks really nice, and it is A Nightmare on Elm Street 4K. Now, when I've recently re-watched these, I think I say I got to number three, halfway through number three. I'm going to have to go back and watch these. Now, I put this on, and I've got to say the 4K on here looks absolutely amazing. It's everything I could want from the 4K. I do think it's a big upgrade on the Blu-ray, which looked really nice. Now, I do know that when I watched the Blu-ray the last time, I was thinking, it's great. I mean, I love this film back in the day, but when I watched it now, I was thinking, do I really, really like it as much as I did? And if I'm honest, I'm going to go back with fresh eyes. I'm going to go say reset. I'm going to go back fresh eyes. I'm going to watch the whole of them again. But I'm excited to see this on 4K because I'm going through the Friday the 13th at the minute, as you know. And once I get done with them, I'll go back to the Nightmare on Elm Street, and I'll probably go to Halloween after that. Why not? And I hope they do release all the other ones on 4K, which looks like it's going to happen. I don't know if I'll pick them all up, but I'll probably definitely pick up the first three. Definitely two, because I think two is an absolutely brilliant movie, believe it or not. So that's highly recommended 4K, A Nightmare on Elm Street. So last up was another one I was on the fence with. I thought, do I really need this? And I let it sort of slide for a little bit. Of course, it went out of print. I was lucky enough to find an unopened one on eBay for it was £47. But if you wait, you pay your money. That's just the way it goes. So I picked up Friday the 13th, the 2009 remake. Now, I did like this movie when I saw it. I haven't seen it for a bit. It'd be interesting to see how it stacks up with the ones I've watched. I've watched up to Jason X at this point, so I'm really close to getting this watched. I put it on, I've got to say, and I've heard good things about it. The picture quality is absolutely fantastic, so you've got nothing to worry about if you want to go for it. Yes, unfortunately, it is from the US, and you've got to go. It's out of print now. You've got to kind of go to eBay, or hopefully somebody be selling one somewhere. There was ones on there for £100, which was absolutely crazy. There's no way on earth I would have paid that for it. But when I saw this for 47, I thought, well, actually it was 45. I got a little bit of money off. I thought, well, why not? I'll go for that. And yeah, it is what it is, I suppose. You snooze, you lose, and that's just the way it is. I keep talking about that. But I'm really excited to watch this again on the 4K because I put the 4K on. I will watch the killer cut. You do get both of them on 4K in here, two discs, and you get a stack of extras as well. And you also got them pull-out things, so it's the full complete package. This is released by Arrow, and I know there's plans in the US to release also by Arrow. Jason Goes to Hell, Jason X, and Freddy versus Jason. So this is going to get a large chunk of them out there. But let's see what happens with the other ones, especially Friday the 13th Part 3. That's the one I'm most interested in to see how they're going to do it. Are they going to AI it to make it look really nice? So I'm nearly finished this rewatch of all the 12 Friday the 13th movies, and you might be quite interested to see how I'm going to re-rank them this time. So keep an eye out for that one. Thanks for watching, you take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.